Whoa.
Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. The last Shabbos, my son went to a Beit El. He spent Shabbos in Beit El. And so since that came up in this week's parsha, I felt it was a great time to talk a little bit about it, Beit El. Beit El today is a question of whether or not that's the same Beit El as mentioned within Tanakh. There's a number of archaeologists that who have a big machlokas on this, trying to talk about it. If you actually go to Beit El, you'll see, I'll put it in the pictures here, you'll see the ladder, the exact area that Yaakov had his dream of the ladder. The pasuk tells us in the parsha that Vayikat Yaakov Mishnaso, that Yaakov woke up from his sleep. Vayomer Achen Yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh v'anochi lo yadati. I see Hashem was in this place I didn't know. Vayomer ma norah makom hazeh ein zeh ki im beis haElokim v'zeh shar hashamayim. How great this place is, that it's none other than beis Elokim, and this is the gate of Shamayim. And then it says later, it says Vayikra Shem HaMakom Ahu Beit El, that he named it Beit El V'ulam Luz Shem HaYir HaRishona. That's really originally it was Luz. Beit El is mentioned a number of times within Tanakh. In Yoshua, it's mentioned. It talks about that fell to Bnei Yosef. And it went from Yericho, from the east to Yericho to the east. And then we have in Shoftim, it mentions that it was on the southern tip of the land of Ephraim. The big question that we have about Beit El is, it seems that Yerushalayim should be the place that that God came down, right? We know that it's Yerushalayim, Har Moriah, the place where Yitzchak was brought as a sacrifice. That should be the place that Hashem's presence was. This is so bothersome that Rashi, there's this gigantic Rashi on this question. Wow, isn't it Yerushalayim? And you can see here in the Rashi. So Rashi quotes the Midrash, and he does basically hula hoops and backflips to try to understand what happened with Beit El. He says maybe that the bottom was in Beersheba, and then the middle was in Yerushalayim, and then the top was in Beit El, or that he's so bothered that maybe what Hashem actually uprooted the Beit El and moved it into Yerushalayim and moved it to Beit El, that it was an uprooting of it. So some of the Mefarshim you see in the Gemara in Pesachim says maybe that it is Beit El, or maybe that the Gemara, maybe that the place that we call Beit El in Chumash is not the exact same as Beit El in Tanakh. Maybe they're two different places. Rashi doesn't like this approach to it, but it's very questionable. What happened to Yerushalayim and Beit El? One thing we could talk about in Beit El is on a very, very high point. If you're actually looking at Beit El, even today, Beit El, you could see all the way on a clear day, you could see to Tel Aviv. It's it's a really very high point. Yerushalayim is very much lower point. And when we actually look over the land of Eretz Yisrael, you can see so far into Eretz Yisrael, you can actually grab the bracha of Yaakov by looking from Beit El, from the heights of Beit El. You can see the great bracha of the land, the beauties of the land that we have, that was given to us in the bracha from Yaakov, and that's where we see that it really does go up to Shar Shamayim. You're early on Shar Shamayim, looking out over this land and seeing these great brachos. And today, as we have Yerushalayim, as we have Eretz Yisrael as a part of our people once again, so we are able to see that bracha, and we should go to Beit El, and we should stand on that mountain, and we should take in the bracha that Hashem has given us. And on that, I wish you a great Shabbos.